So I just went on a car ride with my boys. I put both of my children into the car and I drove around in it. And I didn't freak out. I didn't do it. I tried to, but I didn't freak out. It was interesting. It was about a 20-minute drive, so not too bad. I just feel silly for being so excited. Get some eggs. We got some eggs. To redo the math, because when we did the math of how much it costs us to raise about a dozen eggs, because that's what you can buy at the store is a dozen eggs, right? It was a little bit more expensive to raise the chickens and get eggs than it is to just go to the store and get a dozen eggs. However, it is significantly cheaper to raise them if you are buying the equivalent of what this is, which is organic, non-whatever, pasture-raised eggs. So it is cheaper if that's what you prefer, but if you just get regular eggs. But I need to redo that math because I went to the store and eggs were $4 a dozen. That is insane to me. So this is a puppy dog that showed up at our house, a little girl. We just gave her a bath and Wyatt's brushing her out. She really likes, she's like, okay, now put the fur in the box. Now put the fur in the box. Wyatt's using this space heater box to throw the fur in because we're gonna burn it. And then she's like, okay, now go back. She loves it. So 2 nights ago, not last night, but the night before, at around like 4 a.m., I like stood up and I thought I was dreaming it, right? Because it was like barking, but it was weird barking. I lay back down and like 30 minutes later, I hear it again. Wyatt hears it. Our dogs don't get up, but me and Wyatt hear it. He goes out, he didn't see anything. I look out the window and I see some movement on the front porch. I open the door. In comes this little dog, like she belongs there, like she lives here. So Wyatt's getting ready to take her into town to see if she is microchipped. I posted photos of her on a county Facebook page to see if anybody had lost her because she's not skinny. She was really stinky, but not in like a, I have mange, I've been out in the woods for weeks, like she's well fed. She's just a little bit older. So we're hoping that she's just somebody's and she just happened to get away, get off the leash, get out of her collar, something like that. And that she wasn't dumped, which unfortunately happens around where we are more than it should, but it happens. So Wyatt's getting ready to take her into town to see if she's microchipped, so we'll see. So the other thing was yesterday, I had an appointment. I went and got my blood drawn for my endocrinologist for my thyroid. When I went to my annual woman doctor appointment, she drew my blood and she said that my iron was low and my thyroid levels were too high. So this was just my checkup. I didn't make this appointment. This was just the scheduled checkup to check my thyroid after my surgery and everything like that. Last I knew my thyroid levels were okay, but now it would make sense if my thyroid levels were off. This waking up with like heart palpitations and fear, a lot of the anxiety if my thyroid levels are too high. But my worry is, why are they high? They were fine 6 months ago. So my brain just goes straight to, I still have cancer, the cancer is spread, the cancer is worse. It's just kind of unfathomable, like, the doomsday type of worst case scenario things that you try to not think about, but your brain goes there anyway. So there's that. And it's nice to have this little puppy dog to kind of, distract me a little bit. I got an appointment this afternoon to go see the psychiatrist again and talk about medicine. The only thing is, I stopped taking all of the medicine. I realized that the last time I've been this anxious was when I was on birth control. And I'm on birth control again. I was on birth control in like 2018, 2019. I stopped it. I started to feel better living my life, made the decision to have a kid. We had another kid. After my youngest was born, we decided, okay, yeah, we are done. We really don't want to get pregnant again. So let me go back on birth control. And that's when everything's just like a slow descent into all of this. I had my thyroid. I had a 2-centimeter mass on my thyroid. I had my whole thyroid taken out, thyroid medication. And so around my birthday-ish, me and my husband made a decision to stop everything. Like I discussed it with him, right? I'm not just gonna stop birth control and not talk to my husband about it, right? I think that that's, while it is me, the one that's taking it, the repercussions and the consequences of stopping birth control, the possibilities of that is something that also affects him. So that's my kind of thing on that. He doesn't make the final decision, but it is something to like discuss with your partner, I think. We talked about it. I stopped the birth control. I stopped the Zoloft. I stopped the mood stabilizer. I stopped everything. The only thing I still consistently take is my thyroid medicine because I don't have a thyroid. So my hope is in a week's time, when I go back to actually see the results of the blood draw and everything like that, that they're like, oh, your thyroid, we just got the medicine a little bit wonky, let's adjust it and let's go from there. I'm really hoping that the blood draw doesn't show that I still have cancer, and that's why my thyroid levels are off. So let's just hope for that. Yeah, but little dog, Wyatt just took the little dog. I'm trying not to name her. I just took the little dog to our vet that we usually take our dogs to see if she is microchipped. We have a sneaky suspicion that she is not fixed. We picked her up, I looked at her, she doesn't have any sort of like tattoo, like Apple, who we got fixed, she has a little mark, like a little tattoo. So does Jasper, a little mark. They tattoo animals. Jasper's like a boy dog is kind of obvious, like they don't have their family jewels. Female dog is a little bit less obvious, but they usually will have a tattoo that shows that they're fixed. I don't think she was fixed, and now our fear is that even though she is old, she's not super old. Like she's still spry, jumps, plays, all those sorts of things, right? She's just got a little powdered sugar face. But we're worried now that she might be pregnant, and that might be why she was dumped, if that was the case. So fingers crossed. There is just so many options that could have happened with her. It's just very peculiar that she just showed up in the middle of the night. So we're gonna go see if she's microchipped. If she's not microchipped, I did have somebody on Facebook reach out to me saying that they think that it might be her dog or her friend's dog or something like that. And so they're gonna come over and see if it is her. The picture does look a lot like her that was sent to me, but there was just some different markings on the legs. So I'm not really sure, but fingers crossed. I am, there's just a lot to think about right now.
Gone. Coming. Gone. Done. Only. Okay. Hanging down.
So we're at the pediatrician right now and in the room waiting. And I did not take my thyroid medication this morning, and I feel actually okay. I feel a little bit anxious, but not like, I didn't have a panic attack on the way here, and didn't have a panic attack. And I have both boys with me right now, both of them, in this giant double stroller. So if anything was gonna make me freak out, you would think it would be this, right? But when I went to my psych appointment on Friday, freaked out. So I can't make heads or tails of this. It's so irrational. I just, yeah. It's snowing. It surely is, isn't it? Oh my days. Welcome to January 24th. So, updates. Little puppy dog, her name is BG. And we were able to find her owner. Wyatt went around to the neighbors, was going all around the neighborhood, and just happened to see, or one of the neighbors told him about a flyer that was just down the road looking for a beagle. He got the number, called the number. Early the next morning, he gets a call. He says, somebody's coming to get BG. And I'm like, okay. BG goes, runs right out to her. It was great. She was a great little pup to have around for a little while. She was so sweet. I'm so happy that she is now home with her family. So that's good. BG is all safe and taken care of. I'm very, very happy. And then also my thyroid levels came back. My thyroid hormone was low. TSH was low. So from my understanding, because I have no thyroid, I have to take synthetic thyroid hormone. So the more that you take, the less that the TSH is. So I'm taking too high of a dose because my thyroid hormone was, or my levels were too low. So he's switching that a little bit, and that should hopefully help the anxiety a little bit. He said don't anticipate too much on that front because the change in dose is very minor. But I've also stopped everything else. So I'm not taking Zoloft, I'm not taking Seroquel, I'm not taking birth control, I'm not taking anything except for my thyroid hormone. And every so often I do have a prescription for a mild sedative that I do take, but I do take that only when like I'm going somewhere and I think it's like a high stress situation. So really I'm not really taking anything. I've been taking some ashwagandha powder and tea at night. I've been focusing on drinking more and just kind of like more, I don't want to say more natural things, just like taking medicine and being on prescriptions is not unnatural. So it's like I don't really like that terminology, but just focusing on more like lesser things that I can do, minor changes that I can do that aren't the big prescriptions, because I feel like the prescriptions, they just alter me too much when I just need just slight alterations. But overall, the other thing is the cancer ticker, or like the cancer markers. The cancer markers were very like almost imperceptible. He basically told me, as much as a doctor can tell you anything outright, that it's very likely to assume that my cancer will not come back. So yay, I'm very excited. I did have papillary thyroid carcinoma, and that is one of the most easily treatable and curable cancers that there is. There is always the chance that it could come back in a different way, in a different area or anything like that. But that's why I go back to the doctor. I'm going back in 3 months to check on the thyroid levels for this new level of medication, but it should be fine. I'm staying optimistic. I'm very excited. Did y'all see what Elon Musk did? Yo, shut up. Like, I'm saying it like it's like little girl like drama. That was the scariest thing I've seen in a really long time. Like, now, okay, the stuff in Gaza is absolutely horrific and terrifying. That's on a completely different level. Seeing Elon Musk, Trump's right-hand man, pull a Heil twice is insane. And if you want to argue with me and say that he was just excited, that he's autistic, he's whatever, okay, one, I know multiple autistic people, right? Varying levels of autistic. That would understand that that's not appropriate to do, right? That's not appropriate. Because, like, nobody dresses up like Charlie Chaplin for Halloween because they know what it'll be interpreted as. So you don't do certain things, even if you're doing them innocently. You have good intentions. You know how they'll be interpreted, and they'll be interpreted poorly. You know what I mean? Like, either he's, no, I'm not going to make excuses. He absolutely knew what he was doing. And the fact that he's radio silent, me and my husband were joking. I'm like, if he would have just wiggled his hand at the end there, a little wave, I was joking. I was like, if I was his PR manager, I'd be like, Elon, for the love of God, just wiggle your hand. Just wave. Nope. But he didn't wave. It wasn't a wave. It wasn't a Roman salute, because a Roman salute was what inspired the whole Heil thing to begin with. Oh my God. How are my Trump voters feeling today? How are we feeling? Are we feeling good? We feeling good? You feeling like you're getting everything that you hope for? I hope so. Cheers. Cheers.